9. So I'm Lynn Randall, Executive Director of the Forum, and it's my pleasure to welcome everyone to our winter preview. So Doug, I'm turning this over to you to introduce yourself.
Good evening, everyone. And I'm Doug Holly, and I'm chair of the curriculum committee. And we're really excited to welcome you and bring you our winter semester preview party. Remember, tomorrow morning they'll start registration. So, on the classes, particularly that have high attendance, you want to think about signing up early tomorrow morning. And
Well, let's go ahead and get started then. One of the things I had planned on putting this slide up as we were introducing ourselves, but one of the things I wanted to remind everybody is who we are and why we do what we do. And these 3 quotes are a huge part of that. The forum has opened doors to a wealth of interesting, talented, informative people. That's what one person said as they were explaining in a survey what was so special. Another one said, I enjoy the variety of classes the forum provides. I've made new friends and social connections. And lastly, another one said, the forum makes me feel like I'm part of something larger. And that's all I have to say about promoting Chesapeake Forum. You're all here because you want to learn more about us. This is just a quick preview, and from here, we're going to go ahead and get started with our roundup of the insider look of our winter semester. Forrest Hansen is back with his popular philosophy course, this time focusing on Lucretius's interpretation of the philosophy of Epicurus. It's all Greek to me. Epicurus sounds like something with food. But the good thing is that philosophy novices like me are always welcome in Forrest's class. And we all love to learn to appreciate philosophy under his tutelage. Here's a short video.
We don't know much about his personal life. We know he was admired by Virgil and some other writers. Epicurus' central view was that reality consists of atoms and a void, and that if we understood that well enough, we would be free from the 2 major fears, at least of his time, fear of gods and fear of death. He lived a very simple life, ate very simple food, gathered the students around him in a place called the Garden, where they discussed philosophical topics. And Epicureanism was very popular in its days. There were a number of other places where such meetings were held all across the ancient Greek world. So I recommend that you first read about Epicurus and have that in your bag, as it were, before we start this discussion. We will use the translation by Rolf Humphreys. I found a number of copies on the World of Books, so you might check that out. Looking forward to our reading and our discussion.
The Forrest's class is on Zoom, for those of you who aren't familiar with that.
So it's amazing how the ideas of historic philosophers hold up. We're fortunate to have Forrest to help us learn these lessons. And now, another perennial presenter for ours, we're very fortunate to have Dr. Wayne Bell back, and this time going to bring us back to basics for bird and birding. This will be an introductory course, and we're going to do it as 5 classes and 5 field trips. So you get to learn about it and experience it in this program. And Wayne loves teaching in the field, and his trips give you great opportunities to go places you've not known. So be sure to sign up quickly, as this is a very popular course and always fills up. And also, maybe you want to consider breaking out some warm clothing for this one, and maybe when you're done, have a cup of hot chocolate. So it'd be 5 classes and 5 field trips.
So one thing that's a little bit different from the way Wayne has structured his class in the past is that it's a class on Wednesday with the field trip on Friday. So you'll be learning on the go very quickly. Books with Friends. Well, Books with Friends is about sharing a love of books that stay top of mind. The book you want to share with friends. The interesting subjects lead to great discussions where new thoughts and ideas are shared during our monthly Zoom gatherings. So fun to learn from other people. We start the semester off this January with The Most Secret Memory of Men by Mohammed Mbougar. That was a tough one. I had to get some coaching from AI on how to say that name. In February, we'll be reading Project Hail Mary by Andy Weir, and the March book is Bucky by Patrick Ryan. These classes are all on Zoom.
See, you know, Lynn, I was looking at your list, and you have some fascinating books this semester. And that science fiction book, Project Hail Mary by Andy Weir, caught my eye. He wrote The Martian, didn't he?
The movie is out, and I hear that it gives away a real big surprise in the book. So
Oh, okay.
don't watch the movie first in this case.
All right.
And one of the things that we like to do in the winter is plan our gardens for the spring. So this semester, we have a new voice for our gardening work, and that is the voice of Renee Rice. Renee Rice is a naturopathic doctor with a specialty in herbs. An environmentalist since her youth, Renee has spent a great deal of time reimagining landscapes to accommodate Mother Nature rather than fight her. Renee is trained and served as a master gardener in New York and here in Maryland. She's also a master naturalist here in Maryland. She's also photo shy and didn't want to do a video. So we go from book club to gardens in this class. And during this winter planning season, we have a 4-session course welcoming Renee to our venue. The course will cover everything from designing landscape elements that attract birds, butterflies, and bees to creating sustainable gardens that will make our neighbors happy. And it can be tough.
So, summer in the Swiss Alps, and Switzerland is a beautiful place. And let's hear from Kathy and Jerry about their program.
Welcome to our Chesapeake Forum session on summer in the Swiss Alps.
We think it's one of the most timeless and beautiful places in all of Europe.
I'm Kathy Marconi. I live in Oxford. I've been visiting the Alps since about 2003, first for work and then because our daughter lived there. Before that, I taught at the University of Maryland System, and I've given several courses for the Chesapeake Forum.
I'm Jerry Marconi, and I've done 2 previous courses for the Chesapeake Forum. I also taught art history and drama at the college level for many years. In this program, we will share our experiences in the Swiss Alps from the shores of Lake Geneva to the mountaintops of the Matterhorn and the Jungfrau. We will have a lively discussion about where to go, how to travel, what to see, do, and eat, as well as what it may cost.
So if you've been to the Swiss Alps and want to share some of your insights, or if you are thinking of visiting there, please come join us. The Swiss Alps is one of our favorite places to visit.
So we're so fortunate to have them present our veterans. It's an opportunity to discover how to stay at a Swiss castle, ride a cable cars to the top of famous mountains, and savor some of those world-renowned cheeses, yogurts, wines, and chocolates. And those of you that know me know that I love chocolates. So Switzerland is a wonderful country to visit. And this is a way you can get some firsthand tips on how to enjoy it.
The 2 of them are making me think of the wonderful foods of Europe. And we're going next to Italy's Sardinia region to get a taste of the cooking that's made the Blue Zone lifestyle so famous for health and longevity. Bobby and Chef Don at Simpatico and St. Michael's have put together a great menu based on the food of Sardinia, one of those famous Blue Zones. This cooking class includes instruction for each course of the menu, recipes, and wine pairings with each course. We have 2 sittings for this class. It is sure to fill very quickly.
So I wonder if they have chocolate with the Blue Zone cooking. So
Who doesn't have chocolate?
so some of you may recall Betty Mackey. She has done a beautiful photograph program on her trip to Borneo. She brings her spirit of adventure and a lovely photography as she travels in this program to Botswana. She's going to take us on an African safari, hear about bull elephants, cheetahs, lions, leopards in the wild. This was a very close to nature trip, camping in the African bush for 12 days. Betty will share many tips on how to plan your own Wild Kingdom adventure.
Yeah, and we want to find out if animals come into the camp. So it's fun to have these travel programs ahead and plan our vacations ahead of time.
Or at least dream about it, even if we don't go.
That's right. Dreaming is good. Rich and Bob are back this semester with Great Decisions. And many of you have probably heard about Great Decisions. It's held in many local communities. But here in Easton, the two of them put together a very good discussion, really oriented towards learning from one another, bringing in people that know a lot about the subjects, and engaging in conversations regarding those world challenging geopolitical issues. We certainly have plenty of those right now.
Yeah, it's always
Hi, my name is Rich Harrison, and Bob DeGore and I will be teaching another class on the Great Decisions. This class is a discussion group of 8 important topics in our world today. The books were just printed, and I received them yesterday, so they are new, hot topics. The 8 topics this year are America's global world. Trump tariffs is number 2, a big one every year and will continue. U.S.-China relations, that is huge. Ruptured alliances with nuclear proliferation will be there. And another real big one this year is Ukraine and the future of European security. Multilateral institutions is the next one. And 7th is U.S. engagement in Africa, and contrary to most expectations of having climate change, number 8 is the future of human rights. This is lively discussions among interested and knowledgeable people about world things that are going on now. It's not in a history book. This is current. It's hot off the press, and many of these problems are intractable. There isn't a simple solution.
This course is going to be held over at the Chamber of Commerce near Bakery in Easton. It's a late afternoon course. They'll be 3:30 to 5 p.m. in person.
It's always a great way to broaden one's perspective on the issues.
It really is fun to learn from everybody else, because it's amazing what other people know and what their news sources are. This class usually fills up fast, so beware.
All right, so celebrate America 250th anniversary and discover your patriot ancestors. What a better time than this year to celebrate and to search for your patriot and sorry about that, ancestors. And every family has a story. Let's hear Wes talk about it a little bit.
Hello, my name is Wes Haygood, and I'm the president of the Colonel Tench Tillman chapter of the Sons of the American Revolution, or SAR for short. I and members of the Daughters of the American Revolution will be teaching a course titled Celebrate America 250, Discover Your Patriot Ancestors. With the advent of the semi-quincentennial, or the 250th anniversary of the founding of our nation, there's a lot of interest in learning about what role our ancestors may have played in the founding of our nation. Did you know, for example, that 35 million Americans can trace their ancestry back to one of the settlers who came over on the Mayflower, and many millions more can trace their ancestry back to a patriot, one or more patriot ancestors. In this course, you're going to learn how to develop a family tree diagram depicting all the members of your family. You'll learn about all of the sources of genealogical data that are available to you. There are many myriad sources. Even if you cannot find that you are related to a patriot ancestor, this course is going to give you the tools and the know-how that you will need to succeed in discovering more about your family history and about your past.
So, I've been doing family genealogy for over 15 years, and I recently met Wes, and he is very knowledgeable and very generous with his help. And he helped me break through a number of problems that I had been having and learn a lot more about my family. So I think this will be a great program, and it's always an amazing journey to look into your family history. So this class would be a great way to start.
And I agree. Going from ancestry.com, I'm sure that we're going to learn some really good tools that go beyond the basics that everyone, tells lies on. So, it's funny, we're going from ancestry to the art and science of fermenting because I imagine fermenting was a real important part of for our ancestors when they first came here.
Yep. They didn't have refrigerators back then.
Yeah.
So this has been a highly requested program, and this is how we get a lot of our programs when people request them. And so let's hear Oksana talk about the art and science of fermenting foods.
Just a stone's skip away from the Chester River, you can find Oksana's Produce, a small but picturesque farm where Oksana Bokarova is picking the perfect produce for pickling.
I always was making sauerkrauts for family, learned it from my mom. One day, one of my friends who was running a natural food store, he said, why don't you start making it to sell? He was the first who started selling it at his store. I did the only Russian kraut then, and then I started developing different recipes.
All of those recipes require a variety of crops, and on her farm, Oksana is making every acre count. Oksana's roots in agriculture go back to when she was a child in her homeland of Russia.
I feel sometimes that farming, working with the land is in my blood because my ancestors were actually peasant farmers. Right now we're preparing our vegetables that we cut out on the farm to make a kimchi.
Oh, great. Here you go, boss. Of course, the first step to making fermented kimchi, or anything else for that matter, is to chop the veggies.
And I still have all my fingers after all your chopping.
I was careful.
Oh, I thank you.
Next, Oksana moves over to a soaking station, and there she mixes up salt and water to create a brine.
How long will this soak for?
Well, we'll be soaking for about 2 hours.
Mm-hmm. That's enough?
That's enough, yes, to soften everything and to open the cells for salt to come in and fermentation. And then we're going to add onions, ginger, garlic, and red pepper to it.
Lovely.
Mix it all well up and then put it in buckets to ferment.
How long does the fermenting take?
For my kimchi, it takes about 2 weeks.
That long? Wow.
Yes.
But it'll taste really good.
It will taste really good.
Very good.
So Oksana is going to do a couple of different types of fermenting in the class, and you will actually go home with a starter of a fermented sample to take home and ferment at home. And this is going to be held in St. Michael's at the
Senior Center, right?
the community center, and it's going to have an extended time. It'll start at 11 and go to 1 o'clock. Hope everybody can enjoy that. And you know that chocolate is made through a process of fermentation. But just thought I'd throw that
Good one. Yeah. You wish. No, is it really? No. So we're going to be having fun at St. Michael's at another location too. This time over at the Artisan Gallery. In this particular case, Trish Payne is going to be teaching us about a new method to me, a method that is really fun with paint and can be done, it's fast and it can be done in just a few hours. I'm looking forward to it. She showed me a sample of one that looks like a sunflower. It was just beautiful. This is another one that's an extended time. It's 1 to 3 p.m. Of course, it's in person, and it will be at the St. Michael's Artisan Gallery. That's over by the St. Michael's Brewery as you go into town coming from Easton.
Hi, my name is Trish Payne. A lot of you may know me from my previous work at the St. Michael's Community Center as the executive director. I'm here today to talk to you about a class that we're doing for the Chesapeake Forum. I'm teaching a class in acrylic pouring, which is a lot of fun. I learned it a few years ago, and there's so many techniques to it. What I'm going to be teaching is called the swipe technique. One of the examples I have is a sunburst that we do. I've done several classes in these, and most people are very surprised at how easy it is. I'm very excited to bring it to you and teach you the different ways to mix paint, the different ways to manipulate the paint. In our case, we'll be doing a swipe where we actually pour the paint onto the canvas and swipe it across, and it makes those beautiful lacy patterns that you see. So I'm hoping that you'll join us and we'll have a lot of fun kind of discovering for ourselves what we can do, which you may not think you could do. So be sure to check out this class. It'll be at the Artisans Gallery at 609 South Talbot Street.
Yeah, it's a cute little gallery.
It is. So you're going to be talking about meditation.
So yeah, let's have Mary give us her introduction.
I wish I had more than a minute to tell you about the minute meditation practice and a diet for the soul, but I don't. So sign up for the 4-week class and see what the practice can do for you. I'm Mary Carpenter, and I'm the co-author of the Minute Meditation It Is Profound book series. In this class, we'll be using book 4, which is called A Diet for the Soul. We won't be talking about food. We'll be talking about something much more important, something deep within you that resonates always and always has your best interest at heart. I hope you'll join me for this class. The book's available on Amazon. I've been doing and teaching this class for 15 years, and I've seen the profound effect it's had in my own life and in the life of so many of my students. So join me, take the Minute Meditation Challenge. All that's required is you and a willingness to sit for 1 minute twice a day. Come and see.
You know, Lynn, meditation can be such a wonderful way to slow down and reclaim some calmness in one's life.
I knew you were going to say that. I thought, she's talking about rid our souls of extra pounds. I thought maybe you and your chocolate, that would be fitting. This next course, is going to show us how, in some cases, there just is simply no time for minute meditation. Paul's coming back this time. He's not talking about history. Well, maybe his own history. What could be better than hearing the roar of jet engines, seeing the precision of aerial maneuvers, and imagining the adrenaline of high-speed flight? Watching the Blue Angels thrills the imagination, but Paul will be talking us through what it really is like to be the one piloting a fighter jet in this single session adventure. So Paul Callahan is a native of Oxford, Maryland. He was a U.S. Marine Corps veteran where he was assigned to fly the FA-18 aircraft. He now flies a little slower for American Airlines.
But no less exciting. I'm looking forward to that one.
Yep.
All right. So, art history in a nutshell. We're very fortunate to have a new voice in the forum, Anke van Wagenberg, and she is going to take us through and really help us appreciate it. Certainly we can all look at a piece of art and enjoy the obvious visual impact, but it can be so much more enjoyable if you can appreciate the little details, the background, and the context. Anka will help us learn to see with more than just our eyes. In 3 classes, focused on 3 different masterpieces, she will help us understand how to look at and appreciate pieces in those times and in that context. And we'll be able to take that with greater confidence and tools to enjoy so much more in the art we encounter. So I'm looking forward to this. This will be on Fridays. We don't usually hold classes on Fridays, but we hold on 3 Fridays in extended times from noon to 2 p.m. at the Y in person.
You know, Doug, I think we need to talk to Anka about figuring out what museum we should go to next winter now that she's arming us with knowledge.
There you go. A good idea. We are fortunate in Easton, in this area, to have so many lovely art galleries.
We also have we also have in our midst several course leaders who know a lot about Talbot County.
That is for sure. So we're going to do a program on understanding the business of Talbot County. And this arose out of a discussion between Lynn Milkey and myself in a Great Decisions class for Chesapeake Forum. And as we talked about it, she brought in Pete Lesher, and we're going to have an interesting opportunity to learn about the everyday operations of our county government and how to get involved in shaping the future of this community that we call home. From 2 familiar faces here at Chesapeake Forum. And they're both current members of the Talbot County Council and intimately aware of the intricacies of getting things done at a local level and how every one of us can find ways to contribute. So there's a lot of interesting things. I've been working with them and preparing for this. So we're going to offer this at the Easton Library because we make it a community event. You know, we try to do a couple of events that we try to bring to the broader community. It'll be 2 sessions. The first session will be Tuesday, February 17th. And note there's been a date change. They had to have a budget meeting on Tuesday, March 3rd. So the second session will be Monday, March 2nd. So it'll be Tuesday, February 17th, and then the following session, Monday, March 2nd. Looking forward to it.
I'm really looking forward. I'm sorry. I'm really looking forward to learning how and where people in the community can get involved in our county governance. So I think there are many different ways.
There are, and it's just people don't realize it. So this will give them, and we will be offering this in the evening so that people can. It'll be 5:30 to 7.
Right, easy to get to after work. Well, we've all been hearing about the blue catfish, the menace of the bay. Well, in our next cooking class, you'll notice we have a theme of cooking going on here, chocolate and cooking. We'll discover how to turn one of America's most underrated fish and an enemy to the Chesapeake Bay into a delicious, sustainable meal. Lunch is included with instruction and recipes from Chef Murray. So here's a quick video that he shot for us.
Hi, my name is Chef David Murray. I run operations here at Chesapeake Culinary Center. Have you heard of the blue catfish, the invasive fish that's taking over our waterways in Maryland? Well, come spend some time with me. We're going to create dishes to prepare this fish at home, whether you catch it yourself or you buy it locally. From start to finish of this program, we're gonna have a whole blue catfish. We're going to break it down into fillets, and we're going to learn some delicious recipes together.
I wonder
So
if
that's
chocolate
another-
goes well with blue catfish.
Well, chocolate goes well for any dessert. But this class is going to be from 9:30 until noon. So we're going to learn a lot. Everything that we'll be doing a brain drain with Chef Murray. This next program is one that is perfectly timed for our days here in what we see going on in our community. Could we have picked a better time to have Mateo Peters come from Chesapeake Multicultural Center to fill us in on what and how things are going for our immigrant neighbors. The last time we held this course, we filled the classroom. A warning to Trina, it was filled, really filled. And as people left, they came up to me and said and thanked me for setting this up, saying that they had no idea. And I think he got a lot of donations out of it too. But this is, with all the things going on with immigration right now, we couldn't ask for a better timing and a better person to be able to tell us what exactly is happening. So I'm looking forward to this class. There is no limit other than the size, how many people we can squeeze into the room. So jump in, plan on learning a lot from Mateo.
Yes, I've heard there's been so much that rich insight that he's provided.
He does so much for our community.
He does. So organ donation, it's one of these things that can be so powerful. And let's hear Arnie Halt give us a little introduction about it.
Hi, everyone. My name is Arnie Halt, and I'm a community outreach coordinator with Infinite Legacy. Infinite Legacy is the local nonprofit organ procurement organization that facilitates organ, eye, and tissue donation and educates people about the critical importance of registering to be a donor. Organ, eye, and tissue donors save and heal the lives of tens of thousands of people every year. Do you know how many people in the US are currently waiting for a life-saving transplant? Or how many lives one person can save by donating their organs and tissues? People often ask me, can I be a donor if I'm older? Or can I be a donor if I have a medical condition? And the big one, will doctors still save my life if I have a heart on my license? The answer to all of these questions is yes. Learn more about organ, eye, and tissue donation, get the answers to all your questions, and discover how you can save lives by attending my course with Chesapeake Forum.
She's such a sweet soul, and I think this would be so insightful for people. I have to say, it gave my stepmom such peace when she was an organ donor and in her final days, knowing that she was going to continue to be able to give to others. She was a very wonderful soul about that. So great way to contribute. And this class is another one that will be held publicly at the Talbot Free Library, and it will be in person, though, from 1 to 2:30. Hope to see you there.
Well, we're back to food again. Can you feel your waistband expanding yet? Enjoy an Italian meal, trattoria style. I had to really learn how to say that because I'm not Italian. And enjoy the company of friends while watching Chef Larry entertain with his cooking. If you've never been to a class with Chef Larry Paz, you are in for some entertainment and a wonderful surprise. For those of you who've never taken a class from him, he can be expected to provide us with a famously fun-filled evening of storytelling, infectious laughs, and great food. He will walk us through the preparation of his dishes and graciously share his recipes for success at home. There are always some little tricks that make it special, and he's always full of those. So this is going to be out at the Oxford Community Center. It's an evening event, 5:30 to 7:30. You can dress up or dress down, however you wish. But just remember, trattoria style. Am I saying it right? I'm sure Larry's going to correct me.
So, we are surrounded by our local rivers. They're a defining feature of where we live. And here's an opportunity to learn more and discover a lot more detail. And why don't we hear Courtney fill us in a little bit on what the program's going to be about.
Hi, my name is Courtney Lee, and I'm the membership manager for Shore Rivers. We have a vision, thriving rivers cherished by all communities, and we believe we can get to that vision by helping to protect and restore Eastern Shore waterways through efforts in advocacy, restoration, education, and community engagement. And today, I'm asking you to join us to discover the state of your local rivers. We will be hosting 3 sessions led by a different river keeper each day. These will be held on March 3rd, 10th, and the 17th, starting at 10:30 in the morning until noon, held at the YMCA on Peach Blossom Road, which also will be available in a hybrid format. In one session, we'll be exploring the 1983 Chesapeake Bay Agreement and learn how we will be revising these projects and initiatives to meet our restoration goals. In another session, you'll also be learning how you can be a river-friendly recreator. How can you drive your boat and enjoy these rivers while making sure that you keep the integrity of these waterways for others to enjoy as well? We'll also be learning about 2 vital underwater habitats, which include submerged aquatic vegetation beds and oyster reefs. And in a final session, we'll cover information regarding land use impacts to river water health. Specifically in the critical area of our region. Learn how to identify illegal practices and report violations in these very protected zones. So I know it's cold outside, but let's start thinking about those rivers for next summer. Please come and join Megan White, Community Engagement Coordinator, and Courtney Lee, Membership Manager, with one of our river keepers coming up in March. We really hope to see you there.
I love Courtney's enthusiasm, and Shore Rivers does such a wonderful job to educate and protect our rivers. This will be a wonderful program to learn about so many aspects of our local environment and how we can help improve and preserve it.
And I think, and also having it in 3 sessions is really helpful. Help make sure that we get a lot of information and have time to digest it in between each session.
Yeah, it's always nice sometimes to be able to come back with all those questions that pop into your head after the class. So
That's right.
You can really do a deep dive.
Yeah. So this next one is about music and how it shapes society. Sounds a little bit vague, but Justin Acomb is really good at pulling things together. I don't know how he does it, but remember Woodstock? Or how about the music of defiance during the Vietnam years? How do music and the arts shape how we see the world, what we care about, and how society functions? In this unique course, Justin will engage us in conversation about how music matters and to whom, what gets labeled political and what doesn't, and why, and what we really mean when we talk about music in the first place. We're looking forward to that. The last time he was with us, he was talking about the Constitution. Now, how is that from being different? Well, I'm the one guilty of this next one. I was going around the Y one day, and I go traipsing up the stairs or up the elevator to our classroom, and I see all these people having great classes, but I don't know anything about them. Now, I know that many of you are members of the Y, but I asked Shauna Gregory and Wendy Palmer to sit down with us, tell us a little bit about the history of the Y, which is fascinating, and the building there in Easton and the other Ys that are a part of Chesapeake, of the YMCA of the Chesapeake. But also, I'm going to make them take us on a tour so that we can see where some of these special classes are and what people are doing in them. It's sure to be an interesting class, and it's one that I'm looking forward to because I need to get fit.
Yeah, the Y has an amazing set of services, and it's a tremendous community resource. We're so fortunate.
I know, I probably shouldn't have said that I need to get fit because now everyone's going to hold me to it.
There you go. Good New Year's resolution. So, Eleanor Roosevelt said, some people make things happen, some people watch things happen, while others wonder what happened. Well, in this course, let's hear Clinton Pettis talk about how he's going to help us make things happen.
Hello, my name is Clinton Pettis. Many of my friends and acquaintances have expressed a desire for more civil discourse on critical topics like politics and religion. There's a tendency for them to blame others for incivility and suggest that nothing can be done to overcome it. This way of thinking we call a fixed mindset, rather than the more I can do attitude of a growth mindset. The course I'm offering, which is about relating across perceived differences, encourages each of us to participate in identifying and pursuing ways to overcome things we think are not in the best interest of our society, not through surrender, outrage, or belligerence, but through conviction, commitment, and creativity. Often, when we model positive behavior, we find that we can have a tremendous effect on one another without changing our views or theirs. I look forward to relating to you soon.
So yeah, we're looking forward to learning some techniques to help us be a positive force in the community. And Clinton certainly is a good instructor for that.
Well, and we hear so much divisiveness everywhere we read or what we watch on the television news. And I can't help but remember that everything to solve that starts at home. And this ought to be a great class to help us maneuver our way through that.
For sure.
Well, isn't it interesting and how perfect?
I'm
Oh, that's what you were talking
Yeah,
about,
this
huh?
is the one that started
Yeah.
automatically.
So the next class is Life Unscripted with Heather Hall and Val Cavallari. And how perfect that this course is happening at the same time as Clinton's course on relating across perceived differences. This one will become another tool for your toolbox.
Hi, I'm Val Cavallari.
And I'm Heather Hall.
And we're teaching a Chesapeake Forum course called Life Unscripted, Improv for Everyday Conversations. This class is all about what happens when life doesn't go exactly as planned, which, let's be honest, is most of the time.
Right? Whether it's a tough conversation, brain freeze, or later just wishing you'd said something, anything. We've all been there.
And improv helps you stop chasing that perfect response and start being present instead. It's about listening, connecting, and building on what's actually happening.
Yes, and while improv comes from the world of theater, that's not really what we're doing here. This is about real life, real conversations, everyday moments at work, in community, with friends and family.
And no stage experience needed. You don't even have to be funny, though we do laugh a lot.
So we'll go through 6 to 9 activities, just simple, fun games to build trust, connection, and the ability to roll with whatever comes your way.
And we'll play with how to really listen to your scene partner.
Yeah.
And how to say yes and how to find the funny hiding in the ordinary.
Even if you've never done improv before, this class is for you. And if you did do our previous class, you'll get something out of this one too.
So come improvise with us. Stretch a little, laugh a lot, and maybe leave feeling more confident than when you walked in.
We'd
love to see you in Life Unscripted, Improv for Everyday Conversations.
We had a ball in their class last time, and to this day, hey, stop that. And to this day, oh my goodness, they just want to keep on going. So, and to this day, I remember that it's not yes, but it's yes, and I remember the importance of really learning to listen, which I'm sure is going to be something that Clinton will be talking about as well.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, Heather and Val are so good at making you feel comfortable doing something that's uncomfortable. And I just love how they interact and teach.
Speaking of Val, if you haven't been listening to WHCP radio at 9 in the morning, and I think what time in the evening, I think it's maybe 5:30, she could probably tell us, but she's been doing interviews with a lot of our course leaders, and they've been really good and interesting interviews. So tune in to WHCP Shore Stories.
They were short stories, right?
That's right.
All right. Which brings us to our next one, and Tea Talk and Tasting with Monica Mars. This is a wonderful program. I took it last, I think, spring, And she invites us again to join her at her cozy retreat in Oxford. She's got a lovely little shop, and you get a flavorful journey from China through India and South Africa, exploring how diverse cultures embrace teas as their favorite beverage. And always a favorite, be sure to sign up early, as it's ensure you're getting a seat, because do have a class limitation there. And it's always more interesting to enjoy a cup of well-prepared tea. I didn't realize how to really prepare tea, and it's so much more flavorful when you do it the right way. And also know a bit about the backstory. So make sure to sign up early for that.
And Monica is so much fun too.
Yes.
So, excuse me, one of the other things that we have, and we were talking a lot about seniors and health, and this is something that our thoughts go in that direction in the winter. I think that this class with Erin is about supporting brain health. So no one can talk better about this than her. So let's start.
Hi, my name is Erin Calderwood, and I'm a registered dietitian nutritionist, and I am looking forward to teaching a class with the Chesapeake Forum about nutrition and brain health. We will be discussing the Mind Diet, practical nutrition tips you can incorporate, as well as activities that you can do day to day on how to promote brain health and keep your brain from declining as we get older. This is more of a concern. So I hope that you will join me as we learn about practical tips and engage with you all in this exciting, engaging presentation. Thank you.
Well, winter is traditionally a time for New Year's resolutions and self-care. And I think this is a class for me.
And also, I understand that chocolate is good for the brain.
It is, but it has to be the right chocolate.
All right. So thriving, not just surviving. How to get the most out of retirement. Why don't we let Kathleen give us a little explanation?
Hi, I'm Kathleen Dormady. I will be teaching a course called Thriving, Not Surviving, which will talk about the potential physical and mental detriments of social isolation and how you can engage with community resources to become engaged and realize that you don't have to just sit at home and be lonely and be bored. You can do things, you can reinvent your time and enjoy your time the rest of your life. So I am looking forward to teaching this class at Chesapeake Forum, and I welcome all of you to attend and learn how you can help yourselves and your friends and neighbors.
It's wonderful to have someone who can teach us some of the rich experiences, things. And I think there's one other powerful thing to consider about this class, particularly if you already have an engaged social life, as many of you that are on this might have because you're part of the Chesapeake Forum. But this class will also provide a source of ideas to encourage others that you know to be more engaged.
Drag them out of the house and out of the doldrums, right?
There you go.
Kathleen has made it her business to go out and find all the resources out there in the community, the things that people can be doing. The list is ginormous, and she knows it all and can help people navigate that. Oh boy. So basket weaving with backyard materials. We're happy to have Claire Mead with us for teaching us this ancient art of basket coiling that's been used to create objects that are both practical and beautiful. Claire's joining us this semester to teach this age-old practice of coiling as we create our own baskets to take home after the course. Watch out. She is sure to infect you with the desire to become a creator if you aren't one already.
Hi, I'm Claire, and I make baskets from unconventional materials, things that I gather from my yard and my neighborhood and the world around. We're going to get together and we're going to form a community of makers, and we are going to use our own hands and materials that I bring, and we're going to make baskets. We're going to use a method called coiling, one of the oldest methods of basketry that there is. While we make, you're going to learn about local plants in this area that have fiber to be used for basket making. You're going to learn about the harvest calendar, when and how to cut these plants and dry them to use their fiber. You're going to learn how to prep them to actually make with them. You'll also learn, we'll talk about the different elements of making a basket, all of the decisions you have to make as you plan a project. At the end of the day, you're going to have a basket that you've made with your own hands and the tools and the knowledge you need to keep creating.
Now, fun fact about Claire, she's been foraging all her life with memories of her South Carolina grandmother and plum thickets. She began using a variety of techniques to create baskets and containers with these foraged materials. As a master gardener, she found it deeply satisfying to harvest and use plant materials as they followed the season. What a surprise to find that invasive plants like kudzu and bindweed are actually valued by weavers. So we're really looking forward to this. This is another course that will be an extended period of time from 9, it's all day, from 9 until 4 p.m. with a break for lunch. And it's fairly limited in terms of how many people will be able to be in the class. Maybe we can get her to come back again in the future.
Yeah, I have been out to her shop and seen her work, and she's so creative and really, it's fascinating skill. All right. So, thank you to Suzanne Sanders, who's putting on this class, and an initial suggestion from Sarah Robbins that we should do a program where we attend a play. And so we're actually going to do that. We have tickets. I've actually already purchased the tickets for us to go see As You Like It at the Folger Theater in D.C. And we're going to do the full experience. So let's hear a little bit about it, and I'll give you the final details.
Shakespeare had 3 superpowers that made him a genius: incredible technical skill at his craft, a deep knowledge of the tradition, and an aliveness to the contemporary world around him. When you have those 3 things together, you can produce incredible work. The Folger has those 3 things. When they arrive, they'll come kind of once upon a time down the garden path, and then they'll enter, and they'll be able to see these incredible books and manuscripts and stories and actually learn how these books came to be. We focused really strongly on the feeling that people will have in the space. The first folios have been at the very heart of the Folgers collection, and now we've taken them from the deepest corner of the vault, and they're now really right inside the front door. There are images from the collection across all of the walls, and you could spend hours trying to discover what's there.
The work that's happening in the theater and the building is always connected. It has always been connected. We just have more space to actually tell that story more thoroughly now. We can do things inside the exhibition, inside the Great Hall. We just have more facility to tell the stories of this collection, of Shakespeare, and of new artists as well who are inspired by everything that's here. So you can watch it, you can read it, you can understand more about where it came from. And I think it's that whole journey that you can explore Shakespeare as a place that can feed into your life.
So we have a full day planned for you. We're going to provide transportation here from Easton to DC to attend the theater, we're going to we're going to get there early so there's time to enjoy the many aspects of the Fuller Theater, the museum, and things. There's a cafe there where you'll have lunch on your own, but it's a good cafe with interesting meals, and then we'll have a matinee play, and then we'll provide you transportation home. So a carefree way to get a day down in DC and see some marvelous theater.
Now, Doug, I have run away from Shakespeare all my life, but there is no one who can bring Shakespeare alive like Suzanne Sanders, and she will be with us on this trip, and she's a barrel of laughs, and she can make it all really fun. She'll be explaining the play to us on the way, right?
That's correct, right.
Yep, so we're going to have a lot of fun on that trip, but you were only able to get a certain number of tickets, so be sure, folks, this is the close of our program for the winter semester, so be sure and sign up for it really quickly. So as we close, a reminder, registration opens tomorrow morning at 7 a.m. and you've all probably most of you have a copy of this already, but you can also download it on our website. Easy peasy. It's a PDF, and you just go to it and click on it, and it will show up on your computer, and you can print it. We're always looking for ideas for spring. If you have and future ideas. So when you get your ideas, give us a shout. Well, give Doug a shout and his team, not me so much. Well, but anyway, give us a shout because we're always looking. As you know, we're not a Academy for Lifelong Learning that's associated with a university. Instead, we tap into some of the marvelous, amazing people who choose to retire to this community, and we bug them until they give us a class. Like I see Bill Sweeney over there. Maybe we can talk him into giving us a class someday soon. So anyway, if we have questions, we can all stick around. I think a lot of the course leaders are on here, and I'm seeing some items in the chat. So Trina, are there any questions in the chat that we need to address? If she's there, let me look at that chat.
So real quick question. I did see the one question pop up about where things are at. You can go on the website, and if you even look at what's on the screen here, we'll say whether it's in the library or at the Oxford Community Center, or if it doesn't say, that means it's at the Y.
If you've never been to our classroom at the Y, here's a little
Blossom.
trick. And you go into the Y at the front desk, turn and look at your right. There's an elevator over there, and you can take the elevator to the second floor. Then when you then it's a matter of going through the hallways to be all the way to the end and the other side of the building, and that's where our class is. So we look forward to seeing you in class. Enjoy, have a good winter, and hopefully this is the start of a good one for us.
All right.
If there are no other questions, Doug, do you have a closing here?
You have some
Well,
questions.
just looking forward to seeing you there.
There are
All right.
questions on the chat.
I'm looking at is that Peggy? There, I don't see any that are
What does
questions.
$30? Oh, so one question is, what does $30 in free mean? The class can be free. It costs us a certain amount to put it on, so there is a $30 if you choose to pay. We appreciate it. It helps us fund the program. You'll
Also
see
be
that
free.
when you register.
Yeah. Okay.
And
Any other questions?
yeah, Anka had a question.
So we did speak about your class earlier in the program. We don't have videos for every class. But we did talk about the art history class earlier on.
We ran through the program as it is. So we started at the top with philosophy and went all the way to the end with Shakespeare.
Yeah, so we spoke about every class that's being offered.
Anything else?
I think she's asking if she could talk.
Oh, sure. Just turn your sound up.
So Lynn, I'm
Turn
going to
your-
have to jump off because I've got to get to another.
Okay.
So
So
you got
yes, you're welcome to talk. Just turn your mute off and go ahead and talk. You'll show up on the screen.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yep.
Excellent. I'm not even sure if you can see me. I can't see myself. I don't have a sleek video. This is beautiful programming. I'm teaching a course in art history. The highlights and mostly of the things that you may have heard about, like Michelangelo, Leonardo, Vermeer, and Rembrandt, the stars of the Renaissance and the Baroque. So I'm happy to teach this course, and it'll be in person at the Y at the classroom that was mentioned earlier. So I hope to see you there. I hope a lot of people will sign up. There's really no limit to the signups, and it'll be great fun. It's from 12 to 2, 3 times in February, and you can bring your lunch and just eat while I'm lecturing, and have fun. Thank you.
Oh, we're really looking forward to that. And thank you so much for doing this for us. We
You're
need a
very
little culture.
welcome. It'll be great fun, and it's you know there's no tests, there's no exams. It'll be super easy and fun.
I like that there are no tests. I've been telling people, yeah, we're lifelong learners without tests.
Exactly. No. It's easy. It's just for enjoyment.
So, is there anyone else who wants to make a comment or add anything to our program? If not, gone. Thank you, everyone, for joining us. We'll see you tomorrow morning at 7 in the morning as you're registering. Good night.